How's it going, everyone? How are you this day? I'm doing well, and I hope you are too. Um, Busy the past couple hour or so because I was actually playing around with using some new streaming software by Twitch itself. This Twitch Studio app, so I was setting stuff up. So if things feel a little weird, that's because they are, because I was switching around scenes. But Gabby, hello. Still having trouble with the name, but yeah. Oh yeah, I got a gift to sub. I know. Isn't that swanky? So now you can honk with intensity. We got honk and we got hype. So all you got to do is just do colon honk, and you'll see the two different letters that spell out honk. So you can honk in anyone's chat if you feel in a particular goosey that day. So how has your week been? Mine has been pretty chill. It's been chilly. It's actually rained a little bit here in San Diego, which is surprising because, you know, San Diego is normally sunny and dry, so it's actually great to get a little bit of rain. And it was really good too because I got new tires on my car, so the rain was well timed with good tire right after getting good tires. So like driving around in the rain, not a problem. So yeah, so yeah, I'm just trying to do some loose ends here for setting things up for the stream. And I think we have everything that we roughly need for just to navigate around the different screens. And let me know if you have issues hearing me, because since I'm using new streaming software, the mic setup could be a little bit weird. So just let me know if you have any difficulty hearing me or anything like that. I am gonna start playing some background music so we can have some music going. Let me know if that's a little distracting too, or yeah. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good. Sorry, wasn't paying attention. That's fine. That's fine. We all got things to do today. But I was just hoping that you had a good week. All right. So as it says in the old title, we're going to continue doing our Notion package development. Let me just start this. Start this up. This over here. So we can get things going. Cool. Alrighty. Yeah, let's just get into it. Alrighty. So let me click this button here. There we go. It's working. All right. Oh yeah, I need to turn on closed captions. The last and most important thing, turning on closed captions. There we go. Boo, boo. Do. This water over here. Do. So has anyone done anything interesting this week? Work on anything interesting, or just have any good news to report in? Or just looking forward to the weekend? Let's go ahead and run mixed test real quick. Make sure all our tests are working just fine. Great. I actually might move the chat window to a different location. Let's see, alerts is right there and the chat window is right here. Let's just go ahead and put the chat window right above put it right there. And let's see, what else can we do with this? Animate from the right. Anything else we need to add in here? It'd be nice if I can like align it to the right instead of the left. That'd be cool, but that's fine. Let's see what the light mode looks like. Go with dark. And let's add a little. Let's not do that. Good enough. Okay. Alrighty then. So where things had left off last time was working on, I believe, the blocks. Working on blocks, adding in those implementation details for that. Let's go ahead and jump over to the Notion API docs and continue our adventure of adding in these various endpoints. I forgot to save these changes. And actually, it's been a week. Let's take a look at the change log. Always worth a look-see. 22 days ago, so nothing's changed. Uh-oh. The API Explorer is currently experiencing difficulties. Ruh-roh. Okay, there we go. The individual things is working. Okay, so here we go. We have the blocks. Let's go ahead and move this over so we can at least get like a little bit of side-by-side on this, on the text and the docs. So we had implemented retrieve block children, and update block. The next thing, so retrieve, update, and retrieve again. And then the next one on the list is to append to a block. So appending to a block create and appends new children to blocks to the block ID specified, returns a paginated new list to that. So we hadn't done this for the other, for retrieve and update, but let's go ahead and add a little bit of stuff for this. So append block chill. I'm going to let it complete that, even though I'm probably not going to use what it just completed. So we're doing doc. And then paste in what we just got pulled from the docs. So append block children. And then this is going to be another patch request. And we'll go from there. Let's just delete everything that it tried to autocomplete for us. GitHub Copilot tried to autocomplete for us. So we need the block ID, and we do need the children, the child content to append to the container. So this is an array. Alrighty. So it is blocks slash, looks like it kind of auto-completed stuff for us already. So blocks, block ID, children, and then the child IDs. But that's not it. That's not correct, because the body is actually an array of children. So it's not child ID. Maybe we'll take in children, and then looks like the param is children. So then we just say children here. I don't know how advanced we want to try to go with this, to be honest. Because children is a complex JSON object with all sorts of different descriptors about the childs that we're building, like whether it's a text object, a block, or like a heading, a paragraph. I feel like we just consume it and just pass it straight through. And I've had many discussions in the past talking about how I think I want to try to build an additional module that will be in charge of kind of generating those things, and then we just pass it to these API endpoints that are just in charge of passing it through. I think I've done a little bit of validation in other endpoints in the past with some of these to set the properties, but not too much. Yeah, some simple validation for like things that need to be done. We'll see. Let's go ahead and add a spec for this. So this is a string T. I know binary is technically true, but I think with the newer elixirs, it's just going to be string. We don't have to actually think about binary anymore. Everything's moving to the string module. So sticking with string, I think, is the better strat. And then this is actually going to be a list. Why Elixir? So I guess the question is, why not Elixir? That's my question to you. Why not Elixir? Why not just do any other programming language? It's like, why decide to use JavaScript? Why decide to use Go? For this situation, I'm learning Elixir, and I wanted to build the library in Elixir, so that's why it's Elixir, because a library to interact with Notion do not exist, and it would be a good practice to do so. Yeah, I don't mean that in a negative fashion. It's just, why build anything in any language? It all comes down to personal preference, right? I like by the way, thanks for saying coming into chat, MVD dev. Hopefully you're doing well. What's typically your language of choice? I need to move my chat window over here because I'm looking too far to the. I don't like how far to the left I'm looking. There we go. Much more better. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, no worries. I was curious. I haven't seen or heard of Elixir. Pretty cool. So yeah, Elixir's one of those languages that you don't hear too much about, but if it's like it's just one of those I forget the term for it, the term for it, but it's like it's one of those situations where it's like a word you never really hear, and then the moment you hear it, you start to notice it more often, like just in the either people speaking it or you reading it. And Elixir is one of those languages that it's that way. It's like you don't, normally you don't encounter it too much, but then like once you hear about it and learn a little bit about it, you'll start to like notice it a little bit more, people mentioning it and stuff like that, because you're like, instead of glossing over it because your mind just doesn't understand it or doesn't know what it is, now you're going to start hearing it. But Elixir, so coming from the Java world and JS world, especially the Java world, for you, Elixir is a functional programming language. So completely different from Java, purely functional. There's no return statements. There is no while loops, and so the principles that you try, some of the functional principles that you might try to practice in JavaScript, if you do so, are strongly, is like full-fledged, full force in Elixir. And it's it's in the same wheelhouse as Go is, where it's fault tolerant, highly scalable, out of the box concurrency, and great memory management. And it's based on top of, and it's built on top of an already existing language, which is Erlang. So Elixir is to what C, kind of like what C++ did for C, made it easier, made it simpler to develop with. Elixir is to Erlang as C++ was to C. Makes it a lot more easier, and you can build a lot more, iterate more. Because I don't know Erlang. Never written any Erlang, but Elixir's built on top of it. And Elixir's written in Elixir, and the programming language Elixir is written in Elixir too. So Elixir uses its own language to add to its language. So it's a cool open source language. So traditionally, at work, and for many, many years, I have been a Ruby on Rails developer. When I got out of college, I actually started doing Java development. I was doing Java development for about a year and a half, helping add to and maintain an Eclipse testing plugin, an application that integrated with Eclipse to do automated static analysis and test generation, static, dynamic, and test generation for programming languages in Eclipse, and I think also in C, and also like in .NET. So originally I was a Java developer. All right, so here we are. I've implemented this because we've done this over and over again. The tricky part's going to be actually testing this. So we're doing a patch with the children, and we're going to take in a body with children coming through. Now we're going to actually have to write the test to get this to work. Yeah, I've enjoyed so I've rewritten my own application in Elixir from Ruby on Rails, and it's been really great. Elixir is designed to fail fast and recover quickly, which is great because everything in Elixir is a process. Since it's functional, it's designed functionally too. So if a process fails, no problem. it just fails, and then you can send it a message again, and it just, always output the same thing. So Elixir's designed to fail. It's encouraged to fail, to error out, throw errors, throw exceptions, which is very much different from coming from the object-oriented world where you should catch everything, right? All right. All right, so let's start setting up a test for this. Let's see if we can Elixir jump to the test. Here we go. Cool. All right, so now we're going to write some tests. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and take what we've already done. Update block doesn't seem right. Update block should be patch, not get. This also should change too, which means that the cassette for our test is going to go bye-bye. What type of, so what do you do? What's your day job? What type of, what industry are you working in on for development? MBD. So this is definitely patch. So this is patch, and then we're doing, oopsie, append block children. And then let's go ahead and we're going to name the cassette where we're going to record our external request. That's what's going on here. And then we want to use our response. So we're going to get our response. We're going to match against that. So blocks, append children, and then let's see here. Creates and appends new children to block. So this is updating an existing block. What we want to do is we want to update. So we're going to be appending, adding content to a page. That's what basically this is. A block can be anything, but one of the main thing we're going to test for is to make sure that we add content to a Notion page, because a Notion page is just a block in the end. So this is the Notion page here. So that's going to be our first argument. It needs to be a string. And then we have our children. So this so GitHub Copilot auto-completed this. It might have auto-completed this from a previous example that we have like right here. But yeah, this is gonna be interesting. So we're gonna do that, and then we have to get the syntax for adding the, so children is technically an array of items. So what I'm gonna do here is do this children, or in our case Elixir, it's not an array, it's called a list. Arrays don't exist in Elixir. They are lists. Got to get that terminology and fired into my brain. So object. So we go like this. Object block. Type paragraph. Paragraph text type. And then there's the content. And then that's it. It looks like we don't need to, do we need to? Yeah, we still need that, all that. Trying to like see if the auto formatter is going to do its mojo for me, but it's not. Something's out of balance, I guess, which is maybe why. There we go. So we're going to add in another block, which is a text block. And then let's go ahead and say testing for appending. And then we pass this to our request. Let's go hop over to our Notion page. So, and we're going to hop over to our thin Notion text test workspace. So I am going to expect that this is going to receive a new text in here that's going to say testing for append block children. And I think, and then we want to validate, let's see. So what does this return? So it returns a list of fully created children. So I can use this. Let's see, so response. I'll have to use this one right here. Look at this doozy of a thing to grab stuff. What is such a this is such a crazy method. So we're grabbing the results. We're not going to grab the first one anymore. Let's grab the last one because we're appending, right? So appending means at the end. So the last one should be a paragraph text. We grab the first element of that paragraph, and then in there it should contain the words testing for append block. Okay. And then we're going to run the test and see what happens. I'm going to have to do this on this screen here because if it fails, it's going to leak keys. Ooh, okay. Let me see something here. All right, so the request work, our assertion failed. But no error was thrown, so the request was successful. But our assertion of what the data coming back would look like is incorrect. So let me go ahead and take a look at this. Let's take a look at that payload here that's been recorded. So I just returned back the information about returns a paginated list of newly created first level. That doesn't seem right though. What it returned back was the block itself. Creates independent child and then returns a paginated list of the newly created first level children block. This isn't right. It's not returning back the new list of stuff. It's returning back the... Hey, what's up, Ben? How's it going? Glad to see you here. How have you been? Yeah, this endpoint's a little weird because it's... And we're doing a patch. It's functioning as a get. It did the action, but it's returning back the... It's not returning back the items we added in. It's returning back the information about the block we're appending to. We might have found a bug in the API. Let's go and do a little investigating and see if anyone's reported this or something like that. Pretty good. I left my corporate job and joined a startup. Oh my, oh my. A startup, you say? How's that going? Joining a startup can be very exciting. Joining a startup can be a huge gamble in terms of like development life, right? It's a crypto hedge fund. Ooh, okay. How do you like? And so the company's good, the work hours are good, and all that type of stuff. All right, let's see here. So, I wonder if they have. I'm trying to find a community forum or something like that. Frequently asked question help center is the thing I am curious about. Yeah, totally wrong. That is stupendous. Well, congratulations. That's super awesome. Let's see. Do we have anything? Do we have anything for that? Let's just do this. That was loud. Was that loud for you? Because that was heckin' loud for me. Oh, I'm using new software, so well, I'm glad you've woken up today. Holy heckin' heckers, man. Oh my goodness. Oh god. My ears, they're bleeding. We're not going to press that button again. Okay. I'm trying to find the compressor settings so in the future, but I guess I can play with that later. Okay, it is working now. Okay. I can see it working now. Does that sound weird? I'm not monitoring the audio coming through the stream, so um here we'll cap it at like here. So hopefully that solves ear bleed. Whew. Okay. Glad I didn't have headphones on. Well, whew. I'm glad you didn't have two because I did, and oh god. But that's awesome. That's awesome. I got burnt. I got burnt on the last startup. I joined a couple years back, so I'm like, I'm kind of for now. I'm just definitely not like if there was a time where I was in the market again for a job, I would not be joining a startup unless I knew the people directly. Apparently, you can follow the Notion API directly. Interesting. All right. Well, it doesn't look like it's reporting anything. Um, what we will do then, because this seems to the documented comparator doesn't seem to work. What we'll do is we can go ahead and do a little request to verify our results. Oh, we'll just leave it at this. If the request works, then we'll just say it works. I was thinking about going and retrieving the block children or retrieving that specific block, but we don't even have the ID to that specific block because it's not reporting us that ID. I guess I could get the block children and grab the last one here. So we can do this request here. Let me make a note here. API right now isn't returning. So we have to do this. GitHub Copilot auto completed that for me. Object list, the results. And then want to grab the last one. And we expect the last one to be testing for append children. So we're going to go ahead and run this test again. Let me go ahead and switch to this screen real quick. Avoid any issues with secrets. All right, so we have one test failure because I believe we don't have. I need to delete the cassette, the recording of our API request for our test. Let me run it again. And we are passing tests. Awesome. So it works. We verified that the test runs and it adds this. Although like it's gonna keep on adding them because we're just it's just adding to the end of it, which is funny. Nice cozy music I got here. Well, thank you. Zeitver Tribe. I just don't say Zeit. Thanks. It's actually from an application called Pretzel Rocks. The lo-fi, I believe, playlist is what I'm using. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Friday afternoon. Cool. So we got this done. Patch, append, block children. Done, verified, although there's a bug in the API, it appears. And I need to figure out how to report to them. But it looks like they have a Slack channel. I was hoping that they would have like some sort of forum where you can Bretzelrot, it's pretzel like the food. Pretzel rocks. Pretzel rocks. Royalty free music is what they specialize in for streamers. So if you plan on being doing any Twitch streaming or YouTube content creation, they for live streaming and stuff like that, it is royalty free. So you don't have to, or at least it's stream safe. So you don't have to worry about getting DMCA takedowns. Alrighty. So that was cool. Now for the delete block. Let's implement delete block. Whoa, hold on here. So how did GitHub Copilot know that I wanted to implement the delete? That means someone else has been working on it, like it's been trained on other people's development work for the Notion API, because it just immediately knew that I wanted to do delete. That's freaky. And it already formulated the code for me for doing it. I mean, this code is basically like almost ready to ship. Let me implement the doc. Sets a block object including the page block. So sets a block object including the page blocks to archive tray using the ID specified. Note, if in the Notion UI application, this moves the block to the trash where it can be accessed and restored. Okay, so let's replace this whole AI generated comment with this, with the official documentation. So why is this angry? There is no delete. Do we really not have a delete in our base? So get, post, patch. We don't have a delete. Ooh. We're going into uncharted territory, folks. And then this is delete now. Why is this? Why are you angry? Why are you giving me? Is that what the captions caught? All right, let me see here. So delete takes in binary, headers, and keyword. It really doesn't like something about this. Binary, headers, and keyword right there. In a cheerful way? Okay, great. I know sometimes the the captioning can translate things to a very funny manner too. So that's what I was wondering. Do. So URL and headers. This seems like it's gonna work just fine. It feels like I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, it happened. Ooh. Okay. Remember to hydrate, folks. Drink your water if you have it. Oh, the ordering in this is wrong. Right. Let's see. So delete. So delete takes headers and then options. So there's no body to this. It's just, we'll just leave it like this. So path, build URL, and then delete, parse, CC. Now the linter's happy. It's like, good stuff. And then over here, we're doing the delete. So that's good. Let's go ahead and quickly whip up a test for this. Alrighty. Boom, boom, boom. Delete. So we're doing delete block. And then we're just going to call delete block. The tricky thing here is we need to know what block to delete. So we can try to grab, we can just build on the other tests, and we can do this where we grab we do a request to go and retrieve a block using the other API methods. So from here, we're going to grab, let's see, we don't care about that. We want to assert that that is what we want. Let's see. So in this object for the blocks, where is the ID for a block? So when we do a retrieve a block, what does the data look like? So the ID is right at the top level. Whew. That scared the bejesus out of me. That was loud. I was not ready for that sound. Holy moly. And thank you, Anonymous Cheer, for coming by again and donating that 1 bit. I was not ready for that. Whew. Let's see. Let me check these. This is brand new settings, by the way, if you weren't around for me saying it before. So I am not familiar with any of the sounds or how freaking loud that was. Holy floppins. All right, you're gonna go. We're taking you to half volume. We're gonna take all of these to half volume. Holy moly. Holy moly. My heart. My heart can't take it today. My heart can't take it. All right, let's save that. I've like reduced the volume by like 50%. Okay. All right, so the response that we get back, we're just gonna make sure that this is the thing we want. All right, let's see. Hold on. I want to get the response. I want to get the last. So we want to do this. So this is the block we want. And then in that block, we want to verify that it is what we think it is, which is the testing for append. That's what's going on here. And then what we want to happen next is then take that block's ID and grab the ID. It's like it read my mind. GitHub Copilot. It's like I said like I wanted to grab the ID and it auto completed for that. And then what is it going to return back? It should return back information that it's been archived. So we get the response back, and then let's assert that our get in. So we want to, in the response, we want to grab the archived status. And we want to verify that that results in a true. Alrighty. Let's see if it works. So switch to the screen real quick, just in case. Don't want to leak any keys. That did not work. I'm going to test it again because I have a suspicion why it might have not worked. Okay, my suspicion's wrong. Although I did get further down the line with the failures. Okay. So the first test failed because it had an empty line right here. This wasn't the last line, it was just an empty line here. So that wasn't technically the last item I was looking for, which is this testing appended for block. That part passes, but then we fail at checking for archived when we're trying to not retrieve a block, children. Dang nabbit, delete a block. So that means I have to delete this again. And then we're going to rerun the test. Hey, the test passed. The test passed, and it deleted that extra testing append block that we had before. It worked. Nice. Wow, beautiful. Alrighty, that's awesome. Good stuff. Let's go ahead and commit what we just did. Implement, complement, implement, append, and delete blocks. Let's go ahead and do a little synchronony with that. Let's add in some misting doc header stuff for our other two functions. And then I also want to add a spec here. Add spec. Delete block. String T. And we're just going to say return back any. And then for update block, let's go to the docs and find the formal description for update block. So let's go ahead and take that, like paste that in like that. We forgot the U, but we popped that back in. And retrieve block, children. And put that in. Cool. Unused alias properties. Sure. Let's get rid of that. Okay, let's do another small commit here. Update doc headers for blocks. Go ahead and push that so we don't forget. And the next set of things we would do is to work on users. Let's take a look. Let's take a little looky-see here. Users looks like it's going to be really straightforward to do. So let's go ahead and just start tackling it. I'm just going to copy blocks. It's just easier if I just do this instead of writing everything out from scratch. So rename users, and then let's go ahead and start from the top. and rename this to users, our users module. And then I'm just going to go ahead and delete all these other things. So the docs for this is retrieving a specified user. And then it's going to be users. And then it's just going to be and that's I'm just gonna keep it like that. User ID. Blah 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 blah. Actually, just that user, and then we just give it the ID like that. So then it's just so have we kept it with retrieve page? I'm just kind of curious. So let's go to page and retrieve page. So maybe we should just keep it retrieve user, since we're kind of like every other thing is retrieved. So let's just stay consistent. Question mark? We'll stay consistent. So retrieve and then user ID. And then this is just users. And this is user ID. Bing, bing, boom. Dunzo. Let's create a test file that we're going to be using. We're not going to be doing doc tests. The alias for users is just fine. We are going to need some of this though. We do want the test to run asynchronously. We do want that. We do want this. And what else do we want? This HTTP setup my bobber. What else do we want? And then I'll just grab this example test. Come over here. So get retrieve user, get retrieve user, and then we don't, I guess we could hard code it for a user to retrieve a user. Or what we can do is implement getting the list of users. And then once we have a list of users, we can use that request to grab the ID. Because I don't know, I guess I can hard code my ID because I am the user, but I don't even know my own user ID. So we can implement get retrieve, getting the list, and that can give us our ID. But let me just, I guess let's just finish doing our assertion. And what we're going to assert is that the name, so get in response name. I'm going to assume my name is going to come up here when I fetch the specific user. to be found. So I'm just going to add a little note to myself right here in the meantime. And I'm going to go ahead and comment out this test because this test is not going to it's just going to fail initially. What we want to test for though is what we can just do ahead of it, doing this like TDD style a little bit, is doing a test for list all users. Cool. GitHub Copilot is already kind of understanding the pattern I like to follow. So get all users, list, and then list all users. And then it goes users, we get the response back. And then this is weird. This is weird. Not gonna lie. So in the response, we want to get the results. And then in the results, want to list first, and then the first item in that list should be the user object for me. So then we will test for the name. We will grab the name, and that should hopefully be me. So this test is going to fail because we have yet to implement users with the def list all users. Applied endpoint page results. So this can get params. We'll leave that empty for now. And move right. Put this in two different groupings so we can see the side by side. Okay. Thank you, Windows Defender, for being a nuisance. Okay. Let's run the test for testing list all users and see what magic happens. Hide my screen. Run the test. Failure. Oh, it's a failure with get in. Good. We did get a result back. We just didn't parse the response properly. So let me make sure is it safe to share my screen? Yeah, it is. So here's the response back. It's talking about following arguments were given to get in, and result attempted to do a function clause 6, but it just didn't. It didn't stick because get in expects the second argument to be a list. So I did an oof on that. Not a single string, but a list. I know we can use a new module for this also, or the map module to get the key, to get values for keys. But I've been using get in, so I'm just used to using get in. All right, so we're gonna give this a go again and see if our assertion is correct. Yeah. Nice. Our assertion was correct. And then now we have our ID that we can use for me. So here's my user ID right here. Fancy. So now we can uncomment out this test, put in the proper user ID, and hopefully run the test and get a passing result. Oh, I made a boo-boo and I used the wrong module. Take two. VCR is complaining that that retrieve user, what it recorded for retrieve user didn't match anything. So let me delete that real quick. Cool. We got a failure, but the failure makes sense. We made the same mistake I did last time. So I'm going to run this test again. And then it's complaining about get in. The second argument was name, but the second argument needs to be a list. So as we can see right here, name is just a string. Second argument needs to be a list of strings. Let's run it again. Good. Let me see this here. Fix that. Apparently we're not using this test helper. We're not using this one either. So both of these we've whipped up real quick. Good. The last one is for the user's object is to retrieve a user's bot token. Retrieves the user. Let me implement the doc real quick. For these. Okay. List all users. We can have the option to pass in params. Adding a spec here, retrieve user. GitHub Copilot is confused again about what language I'm using. I was recommending other stuff. Cool. I should still result in passing tests. I'm just using the recorded test, so I don't need to worry about hiding my screen because all the tests are recorded. There's not going to be leaking any keys. So this last one retrieves a bot user associated with an API token provided in the authorization header. The bot will have an owner field with information about the person with the authorized integration. Retrieves your tokens bot user. This doc is wrong though, because look at this. At least it's doing a request directly for a user. It's supposed to be doing a request to v1 user/me, which is intriguing. I'm just concerned that this is going to leak any private information when I do this. Well, let's go ahead and give this a go. I'm just going to hide my screen when I run this. And we'll just hope that nothing bad happens. If not, I'll immediately delete it. Retrieve user. Retrieve your tokens bot. So this is a get to users me. There's no parameters necessary, and the token's already being injected in as part of the header helpers that we've worked on. So this should kind of do its own thing. So get retrieve user bot. Do get retrieve user bot. Delete all that. We don't need any of that, but thank you for trying GitHub Copilot. And then response, and then we should get this object. And I in all honesty, I have no clue what's going to be returned back. Apparently it'll just say the type is bot. So I don't know what the name's going to be, but we'll just leave it as bot2. Let's just see what happens. So I'm just going to go ahead and run this request. There is a syntax error. GitHub Copilot added an extra end. So I got a 500 error from the server. Unexpected token error. So we'll punt on this one because the docs don't. I'm doing the proper request. Let me just make sure I'm not going to leak anything. Okay, I think we're good. We're doing the proper request, but it's just saying 500 error, internal server error, unexpected error, error code status 500. So, and we're doing the request to user/me, and it's automatically including the API key. So it should just technically work based off of the descriptor, but it's not. So we are going to just comment that whole dealie out for now. And let's commit what we have. We actually pretty much finished the users. We finished everything all the way up to search now. All we have left is search for API endpoints, and we're technically feature complete for this library. We've covered every single endpoint with the exception of retrieved token, and yeah. So let's implement users module. And with that, we're just going to go ahead and end the stream there. And next Friday, on the next Zeal stream, we will continue working on this, implementing search, doing another release, and then we can talk about next steps from there. So that's exciting, right? Well, I'm excited, at least. Yeah, so thanks everyone for hanging out. I will be live again on Sunday working on side projects again, side project Sunday. And I hope to catch you there. And so give me a follow. If you liked what you see, go ahead and give me a follow, and you can catch me the next time I go live. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hopefully you've enjoyed this Zeal stream, this Friday Workday Zeal stream. Working on cool stuff. And I will catch you next time. See you later, folks. Bye.